This is Casey.
All right, and I'm Emmanuel,
And this is Chris.
and we're 7SetMedia. All right, Chris,
Hello,
take us
Casey.
away with the first topic.
Okay, so I have this I've just added this. I'm calling it the weekly debunking. And it's the question
I
that
like
Jarvis asks. And this he asks, why do we have social security numbers? Okay, so I understand where he was coming from because there is a theory that was originally propagated by white supremacists, if I may add, that basically says that your social security number is like a routing number to a bank account, and every time a person was born and they get their social security number, the government like they deposit like $694,000 into your account, and yeah, so like this theory is not new. It's not new at all. It's like 70 years old, and actually you can actually try and like call a bank or the Federal Reserve or something, and essentially like try to get money out of this account. And some people claim that it works. Like there's a whole process to this. Some people claim that it works, and other people have tried, and they've gotten time because when you try and do this, it's a federal crime. And yeah, so if that's the reason he was asking this, it's not really leads to anything. You know, the basic way to explain this is that the number shows you where the office where the card was issued, and the other numbers are assigned to you just so they can know who to give the social security to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's just like you can't just. It's basically if everybody didn't have their own social security number, and if it was just like up for grabs, like I don't know, somebody named like Joseph Stalin, I don't know, could have died, and you know he could have died off in like the country, and nobody knew about it. So I could go to like the Social Security office and be like, yo, I'm Joseph Stalin, and just give me his benefits. It's like there's really no way to prove it because there's no numbers, there's no signification, and I guess it's just a way to prevent fraud, and prevent just everybody taking advantage of a system that's supposed to benefit everyone. So that was the weekly debunking, and we'll get better with time. Okay, so first topic. Aman, you said this, and that was the what is the current state of the dating game? Would you want to elaborate on why you chose this topic and why do you believe it's relevant, Aman?
Well, going forward, we can see that the dating game is messed up. If we can just be frank and honest, so I just picked this topic because relationships between humans are important. Humans are social beings, we're social creatures, and relations between males and females are especially important because this is how you have communities, this is how you have society, civilizations, this is how kids are nurtured and brought up. So and dating or courting is a part of that, and right now, man, the dating game is not good. It's not good at all, especially among millennials, which would be us. People born, I believe it's was it during the 90s makes you a millennial.
I think it's like 87 and up.
Yeah, it's 87 and it goes up, you're millennial. So personally for me, yeah, man, the current state of dating it's in shambles, man. No one sees people in person anymore. It's just online hookups and meetups, and it's just no there's just no time or effort put into dating anymore, and that really kind of ties into one of the other topics I believe is on the list. But right now, man, it's pretty bad. It's actually very bad, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon, just because of the way the environment currently is right now. I just don't see the dating game getting any better. It's to the point where people are actually opting out of dating. Like, there was a poll taken that says that 69% of young people don't even know how to properly execute a date. Not that there's a particular way to go about a date, but they just don't necessarily believe in traditional dating and all that stuff. So that's just my brief take on it. But this is kind of going to tie into the other subjects. So.
Okay. Casey, do you have an opinion on this?
Well, what do you think needs to happen to make dating, I guess to like commend the, people's, I guess, dating skills, or to like make it so that people will like want to date again? What needs to happen?
I think there really needs to be like incentives, not necessarily incentives, but there has to be a reason to date. The question that's usually asked is, what can you get from having like a boyfriend or girlfriend, or from dating that you can't get from just meeting someone on Tinder? And that's pretty much that's it. Tinder pretty much, it pretty much is a shortcut into what everyone is looking for. Sex. That's
and
basically.
What is Tinder? What is Tinder?
It's a dating app. It's like a social media dating app, but what it really is, it's a hookup app. Where you meet up with people, you hook up with them, and then you bang them, and then you leave them. It's the same thing as Plenty of Fish. It's the same thing as like I said, they call it a dating app, but it's really not. It's not for dating. It's for hooking up with people, okay. And then pumping and dumping and all that stuff. So there has to be really an incentive to want to date, and Tinder and social media and hookup culture, basically there's no incentive to really date anymore. I mean, you can get all of that just by meeting people on these apps and DMing people on Instagram, and you can get it from there.
Well, so. I can only give in on why I don't really date. I guess I don't really. I really value family. I feel like that's really important, and I feel like a lot of people don't these days. And I feel like dating is. I feel like it's really pointless, because if that's all that people want to do when you're dating, well, I mean, that's just not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, and I guess it also depends on how old you are. But I'm of the age where it's like, but I've been like this for a long time, where I was important to, find somebody to make a family with, not somebody to just date and just have fun with for a little while. So this is why I don't really date, because I don't meet people who have those same values. And I don't know, I was thinking about my sister, because she just recently got married, but she had to look outside of the country, and she kind of said, well, I should do that too, like I should leave the country. And because she married some guy that's from, I think he's from Zimbabwe. And so she was saying that I should probably think about doing that too, like leaving so I could meet somebody. But because it just seems like people in the United States, they just they don't have the same intentions that I do. There's
definitely a movement for women. One lady I know, Kathy, I think, and she basically runs a matchmaking website or a matchmaking blog, and she basically she matches women with men, and usually she recommends that women go outside the country and date either foreign men from Africa or foreign men from, let's say, Jamaica, because they have that family oriented structure that
Right.
seems to be missing from American men. So
Right.
yeah, but she really only matches women who are like 30 plus and men who are 40 plus, because that's when women start to really want to not really settle down, but that's when they start to mature. And you know, she definitely recommends that women, you start looking outside the country, because it's apparently, according to her, it's really bad. The dating market is really bad for women here. So I can definitely understand what you're talking about. It's not just the women, it's also the men in America. It's just the society.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Chris, what's your opinion?
I mean, of course, it's like really messed up. I don't know. Like, I stopped really dating, like, just because I had a really bad year in terms of relationships. You know, just all around, and like, you know, I had one chick, she tried to sue me. I had one chick, she like literally like harassed me, and she knew where I lived, and like, yo, you will get jumped if you come like anywhere near my home. And like,
why did you almost get sued? Is that like a long story, or?
The shortest way I can put it is that a female was upset because I didn't want to take her out to a very important event, and she felt real salty about it. And then she tried to frame me that I hacked into her emails and sent a bunch of emails to people, like derogatory things, and spread a bunch of rumors about her. And so she was gonna like sue me. I forgot what the charge was, but you know, I'm just like, where's the proof?
Wait, time out. Is this that same female you were talking about who bench presses 250 and some change?
No. Okay. This female's like 5'2" and like 100 pounds.
Okay.
And,
Never mind.
Yeah,
Continue.
I just don't take her anywhere. It's kind of, I don't know. And that's like the best reason I can explain it. She's got salty. She thinks that she's about to do something, and I'm surprised she didn't do anything. And like, it's just crazy. I had a real bad year. And that kind of alienated me from everybody. And I blame myself, because I usually have rules. Like, I have a 3-minute rule. Like, if I'm talking to a female, she has 3 minutes. And like, we were talking about anything, but if I'm not stealing anything in those 3 minutes, then like I'm either just gonna kind of back out the conversation. If it's real bad, I'm gonna walk away, just like, you know, leave. And I kind of compromised my 3-minute rule, and I paid for it dearly. And I don't know, bro. I feel like there's decent people out there, but there's so few and far between that it's almost pointless. And because like, at least from what I can tell, the older generations knows how messed up it is today. And that's why they usually, at least I can speak when it comes to men or males, they usually give the same advice, like, oh, you're cool, you're handsome, you're this, just wait till you're like 26.
Yeah.
And like, you're an engineer or a doctor, and you know, have the resources to attract whoever you want, or meet a female on your level. And it's like, I guess that's sound advice in theory, but when it's like when it's realistically put to the test, it's like dudes get depressed, dudes get, you know, some dudes really can't control their sex drive, and you know, a lot of dudes, they kind of become an emotional mess trying to wait till they get to that point where they basically have their portfolio up to offer to people. A lot of dudes kind of fail and fall out in that time when they're building up their, you know, portfolio file, or, you know, getting their resources together. So, you know, I just think you know, it's really messed up. It's kind of sad, and it's really sad because there's like a whole generation of dudes out here, a good chunk of them, that aren't prepared. They're out here not prepared now, and the ones that's coming up now, like in middle school, they're not prepared. You know,
Prepare for what exactly?
Prepared for the dating game, man. Like, people are still given the lie that they can just take any woman out and give every woman the same treatment.
Or it's that one Disney lie that they always tell. Just be
everybody's
yourself.
A princess. Oh, just be yourself.
Just be yourself, and you'll be able to get any woman. That's bullshit. Realistically, you need resources, and the only way to get that is to bust your ass. And you know, the guys who bust their ass the most, usually, you know, there's going to be that time period where you're really lonely, especially if you're a guy. Actually, if you're a guy, like I said, I always give the example of Mark Zuckerberg, you know, Bill Gates. These are guys who busted. These are like nerds, and they busted their ass their college years, and I'm pretty sure they had 0 girlfriends during this time.
Yeah.
I mean, but once you make it, you know, you can have whoever you want. But during that time period, you know, you have to devote yourself to your work, to your business. You don't have time to go on dates. And they even said that most successful men, they just don't have time to date. So you won't be dating. You can't date anyway because you're too busy building your business or your company or establishing yourself. So
I feel like a lot of men, once they get to a certain level of success, and I've never had the full taste of this, but I've had the partial taste of it. And I completely understand. A lot of men get to a point where they can substitute whatever a woman offers with their own success and resources, because they're able to mentally put more, or at least mentally get more enjoyment, more pride, more happiness out of their own success than they would with a woman.
That's what you're supposed to do anyway, to be honest. You're never supposed to find fulfillment in people anyway.
That's true.
Like, if you're not happy with yourself and your success, then what happens when that person what happens when that person gets up and leave, or what if they're not there tomorrow? So you should always tell people, because I low-key give dating advice, but always tell guys that you should always, that women, or having women, isn't necessarily a reward. It's a byproduct of your work. It's like a side reward, because your main reward is your success. If you like houses, it's going to be your house. If you like money, it's the amount of money you make. That should be your success, what you accomplish, your goals, your dreams. Because if you ever look to a woman or even any person for success, you know, you can't make it, because your happiness depends on them. So your success should always come first. And then, you know, if you want to surround yourself with 50 million women like Dan Blitzerin does, you know, do that. But, you know, make your money and establish yourself, and then you'll be happy.
On to the next one. You know, the second one is what's the efficient way of attracting the opposite sex? We probably kind of already touched on this. In fact,
we can go deeper.
Let's combine the next two. What's the efficient way of attracting the opposite sex, and what's the do's and don'ts? That's kind of what.
So what's the way to, how do you attract the opposite sex, and the do's and don'ts of attracting them or dating?
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all, yeah. I'm probably not the one to ask.
Well, we can definitely, sure, why not? We can get it from the perspective of a female. So
yeah,
I mean, I can go first, but if you want to go first, that's okay too. I think personally, we kind of did answer this, but personally, you as a man, looks are good. If you win the genetic lottery in looks, then that's good. But honestly, it has to be a lot of different stuff. It has to be, you have to have resources, obviously. You know, what's that song that came out by is it Janet Jackson? You got to have a J.O.B. from the Be With Me in the 80s. So you got to have money. You have to have a relatively good personality, because I was watching this, I think it was BuzzFeed, where they did this blind test. They blindfolded these women, and then they had a good-looking guy come in, and then a not so good-looking guy come in. But the not so good-looking guy was a comedian. So they did this 3 times with 3 separate guys, and they had the woman blindfolded, and almost every single time she picked the funny guy with personality. So I think if you have a good personality, if you're funny, gotta have money. So it's really a lot of stuff, to be honest. It's complicated, but they say the main thing that really trumps is money. If you have money, you can have anyone or any female. That's number one. But keeping them is one thing. But most guys with a lot of money aren't even looking to keep females. But if you want to keep them, then you gotta have a good personality. You gotta have drive. You have to have ambition. You have to be going somewhere. You got to be masculine, because a lot of these dudes, even though they have money, they have no backbone. They have no spine. For instance, Elon Musk, the guy, I keep mentioning him because that guy pisses me off. Here's a guy with over $1 billion in assets, has owned SpaceX, his own space shuttle. Yeah, has his own space shuttle company, has his own car company. I believe he's the one who wrote the algorithms for PayPal and then sold it, and that's where he made his fortune. But this guy is a complete disaster when it comes to women. He's been divorced 3 times to the same female. The guy has no spine, and every time he's the one that comes crawling back to her. So I know for a fact she doesn't respect him. I know it, because even though he's worth all that money, if you don't have a backbone, you can't keep a female even if you have that much money. So you definitely have to be masculine and have a backbone. So because sometimes even women say they want to be put in their place. Sometimes that's what they said, not me. So yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, you're gonna say something, Chris?
You should go ahead and go, Keisha.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can comment on this. I could say, well, what attracts me is I really like when they don't have to have a whole bunch of money, just enough to take care of the family, take care of themselves, especially like if you don't want a man who doesn't have his own car, who doesn't have his own place,
right,
or who isn't at least like trying to, I guess, ambition. I think ambition is probably the best word, because you don't have to have a bunch of money, but as long as you're trying to like be on your way to being successful, what matters most. And I think that is really I really admire men who are trying to have their own, like be their own boss and not be answering to somebody else. I really like that. And also somebody who is really respectful, because these days I feel like it's a lot of men who are really disrespectful toward women. Like it's a lot of misogynists, and I like a man who is just really respectful toward women and like tries his best to not offend and call women out of their names like on the regular, and that's like a real turn off for me. And so yeah, as far as looks, well, I don't know, looks are important, but I guess there's a variety of looks that'll be fine. It's really, for me, is mostly those things and your personality. What do y'all think? What attracts you as far as a woman?
That depends what I see in them.
Yeah, number one, she has to have game, like female game. A lot of women don't know that, or a lot of people don't know that women, like guys have to have game, but women have to have game too. You don't know a female is missing game until she doesn't have it, and it's sad. Like there's a way that women seduce guys, and it's basically game. It's female game. It's just a certain way women talk to guys, or the way they carry themselves, or the way they conduct themselves, that I find that attractive. And when they don't have that, it's noticeable. So, I mean, that's just one factor. Personally for me, I mean, you can look, like, she doesn't have to be like a 9 or a 10, but it can be her personality. Or like I said, it's just the way she talks, the way she walks. Like I said, game, female game. So, I mean, if she's an adjustable 6 or 7, that's good too. And I don't know how Chris feels about that. You're about to say something, Chris. Go ahead.
Like I said, it just depends on what I see in them and what purpose. Honestly, like I'm not just always looking for the same thing 24/7, because I feel like there's different stages that people look at when it comes to having a relationship. I think for me there's 3. There's one, the most common, and it's like, yo, she's cool, I'll hang out, I might go on a couple of dates, like chill out, short term. There's 2, they're like, yeah, I date her for more than a month and chill out, be there for her. And then there's 3, and it's the most rare, like completely uncommon, just like family non-existent. And that's she's like I want to spend the rest of my life with her type person. And I feel like we, at least me anyway, we look for different things in those different tiers. And a female can be awkward and I can still rock with her. Amon, I already told you like the secret, but
she said secret.
Yeah, like the depressed, low self-esteem females, they make the best girlfriends. Like that sounds really
Why?
messed up.
Yeah, this man said the ones with daddy issues.
because they become, and this is terrible, but it's good if you're a good person. If you're a good person, this isn't that bad. But if you they're the best because they become emotionally dependent on you. And so it's almost like you don't have to worry about much from them. I already told y'all last podcast, I'm a chill dude, I don't care. But it's like certain females, especially here in Chicago, it's just scandalous. Like it gives you a peace of mind to like sit back and think like, yo, she's not out there doing anything, or like she's chilling, because like I'm her only thing. And like it sounds so sociopathic, but when there's a like the ultimate female to me is a female that's loyal, has plans of her own, fiscally responsible, and doesn't mind sharing a bank account. And my thing is that I wouldn't share my bank account with just anybody. Like bank account access is like S3. You have to be a 3. You can't be a 2 or 1. I would not trust you. Like honestly, most unless I'm just like that infatuated with you, I wouldn't give you more than $20 at one time. If you require more than $20 from me, I need to know why. Like you need to write me like a 3-paragraph essay on how this over $20 is going to benefit me. Like, because the past $20, it's an investment. Now, if it's a female, like, it's like, I'm like, yo, this is like, she's it. Like, this female is dope. She's amazing. It's like, I'll give her $20,000. You know, it's like, that's an investment. It's somebody I care about. And I know that she's not going to go out there and do something dumb, like buy some, I don't know, Peruvian horse weed. And, like...
Yeah, I don't really see the point in giving anybody you're dating money. But maybe. I guess if, like, you're the type who's got it like that, then fine, but I mind.
I think it may be completely different for females, because, like, I feel
it
like,
may be. I wouldn't ask. Like, I wouldn't even want to ask a guy if I was dating, like, for money.
I wouldn't give, like, I wouldn't accept money from a female. That's just me, because, like, I feel like that sounds really jacked up. Like, you know, like, I'm not, like, hurting that hard to where I take your money. It's like, I can do this. I can make this work.
Right.
Yeah, I would never. That would just hurt me as a dude, as a man. Never.
Exactly.
Ever.
That's too.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even. But as a woman, I wouldn't want to ask a man who I'm just dating for money. Like, if we're married, then yeah, your bank account should be my bank account and vice versa. But if we're dating, like, I'm not gonna ask you for anything. But
Fair enough.
I kind of do listen. I want to go back to you saying that girls with emotional issues are good girlfriends. I'm like, okay, so if a girl, if you're dating a girl like that, so she's gonna be one of those type of girls who you're just gonna, like, have around for a little while. She's not the type of girl who you're gonna be like, oh yeah, she's a long term type of girl.
Well,
like, no.
She could be. You know, there's people who handle their emotional issues extremely well, just amazingly. And she could be one of those people, you know.
Dude, I'm not sold on that one either.
Because you haven't done it yet, bro. You don't know how to maintain it, bro. I have this down to a science.
Listen, it's like a ticking time bomb. You're gonna end up on the 6:00 news with your head on the pike when you say the wrong. If you cheat on her,
I don't cheat, bro.
You're gonna end up like who's that female that stabbed her boyfriend in the shower and then said it was self-defense?
Al Green's girlfriend?
No, what's her name?
Stabbed her in the shower?
Her boyfriend's penis off?
No. She stabbed her boyfriend multiple times. And then it was like 2 years ago, 2014. I cannot remember the name. She stabbed her boyfriend multiple times in the shower and then said it was self-defense. What's her name? Oh shit, it's escaping me. Oh man. But like I said, yeah, you're gonna end up with one of those females, and those females are emotionally unstable, man. You're gonna end up on the 6:00 Chicago news, and
there's different.
I'll be watching.
There's different levels to this, bro. I promise you, bro. There's different levels.
You need to just I think that you should just leave women like that alone, because if you're probably trying to those girls just should not focus on their issues and everything. I think that if somebody is looking for somebody to date, they should date somebody who they know is emotionally, mentally stable.
Exactly.
Listen,
like they're gonna end up making those girls even crazier.
I'm trying not to go into detail, but like,
there's brother.
No, I'm not. But there's that's what I'm looking for. There's definitely a fine line between crazy and damage. The female that tried to sue me, she was crazy, but her father was killed in front of her, so she kind of has that crazy leeway. But
what? And you still mess with her?
No, I stopped, bro. It wasn't even that serious. It wasn't that serious. Like, I promise you, it wasn't that serious. She's somewhere off
even with damaged girls, you're gonna end up damaging them further if you are, playing around with them.
Yeah, because
I don't play around.
Because the way you do, I'm telling you, because it sounds like you're kind of tugging and pulling on her emotions, because that's the only way you can keep a female like that in check. You have to pretty much play tug of war with her emotions.
You don't.
And Chris, I'm telling you, 6
Bro.
o'clock Chicago news at 11 o'clock a.m. Or
Bro,
no,
I'm a
11
4-year
o'clock
veteran.
news.
I'm a 4-year veteran, bro.
They're gonna have your face on a milk carton.
You have to know how to make positive mental inflections. You have to know how to be encouraging. You have to be a decent person. You have to be her therapist.
So basically, you're saying date Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie, there's something wrong with her.
Dude, isn't this the same female that she carried around of her former boyfriend's blood in a necklace around her neck?
See, that's crazy.
You said it was a fine line.
There's a fine line.
At any moment, she could step over.
I'm talking about, I'm telling you, there are a lot of females out here that are very intelligent, very kind, but they have issues. And if you know how to work with their issues and make them better, like improve them, build trust in a positive manner, then yeah, it's gonna work out beautifully. But there are situations, there are people, a lot of dudes know this and they abuse it. There's a system, there's a science to this. Most dudes, I'd say a lot of females in the hood are damaged. It's the hood, but and a lot of dudes know this, or they subconsciously know this, and so they're able to see cues and different, switches, and they take advantage of that. That's why a lot of females out here will turn around and say, well, I didn't know he was a bad guy at first, because they're playing along with it. They might have not known, there might have been obvious signs, but mentally, the man has implanted themselves in their life to be a positive force when in reality he's not, So, but there's a positive way to do that also. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not just out here looking for the female. I'm not Al Green, the chick that Al Green was messing with. Al Green was married and was messing with another married chick, and she got mad and threw grits on him in the shower, and then she killed herself. That's crazy. But he learned his lesson. But there's
well, that was just because you said. Because you were saying that, a girl like that will make you feel comfortable with yourself because you know that she's not going to be out trying to, hook up with anybody else. It's like it's a comfort thing for you, or it seems like you kind of are trying to take advantage in a way.
Because a lot of
her
emotional state that are emotionally damaged. I won't say a lot, but a good amount of them that are depressed tend to be homebodies. And like real homebodies, like that's like a signifier, like, yeah, you're a real homebody. Because there's females that be like, yeah, I don't like going to clubs, I'm a homebody, but their front door is just a revolving door for niggas. No, I'm talking about a real homebody. And that's usually a sign of it. Because a lot of women are very depressed and they have different ways of dealing with it. Like I said, some of them are just kind of silent and quiet and mind their own business. And there's others who are at the back of Burger King blowing everybody off. So, like there's a spectrum. I'm going to have to write like an article about this one day and like make a spectrum. Are y'all satisfied now?
For now, we can go into detail, but let's get on to the next topic.
Will meditation and eating an alkaline kale kemetic diet make you float?
Short answer, yes. Next subject.
Okay. So, political, alt-right ulterior motives. Do we believe that the alt-right is actually some new neo-KKK movement that's going to renew aggression against the black community? Or is it just a bunch of white people that have been sitting back for decades holding in all their racial aggression? Now they finally have a chance to let loose.
Casey, you want to take this?
Well, I don't think that they're going to end up really having a movement that is going to affect us or really affect anything. Did you see that the interview with the head of the alt-right movement
Richard Spencer.
Yeah, he was interviewed by Roland Martin, and he was like, you didn't see that?
Oh no, I don't watch Roland the Kool-Aid Bird.
I don't either.
Well, listen, I mean, he's cool. Like he's real smart, and he really knows how to debate. And yeah, I mean, I don't watch it, but it was a video that was circulating around the internet, and so he was debating with this guy, and this guy, like, he literally had no points at all. Like, Roland Martin was just, he was kind of just outing him as somebody who really didn't know what he was talking about. And so I really don't think that they're going to, like, make any type of real impact, or they're not going to. I don't think they're going to be a threat to anybody. But yeah, what do you think?
Well,
kill it, Lamont.
Personally, I think while they themselves may not be the threat, I think they're really empowering people, and they're pretty much egging on the white supremacists. And because if you haven't noticed, the white supremacists have really ratcheted up their efforts. Like, if you've ever been to Stormfront, I've never seen Stormfront more active than it is right now. Basically, Stormfront is a white supremacist website where they have a whole bunch of forums talking about how black people are monkeys, and have black people ever contributed anything to civilization, and they just say a lot of outlandish racist shit. So I think they're pretty much, you know what they are? I just thought about this. They're pretty much not the Gestapo. They're pretty much Hitler's stormtroopers. That's what they are, because they're basically, because you have Trump on top, and then you have these people, the alt-right, who are basically out recruiting and passing information, and they're pretty much normalizing white supremacy. And CNN has a hand in that. Social media has a hand in that. Except for instead of wearing, swastikas. Go ahead.
What do you mean they're normalizing it?
Because CNN has written not just CNN, but a whole bunch of not reputable, but a lot of major news sites and media. Pretty much, they've been saying stuff like the alt-right is like, they're educated, and they wear suits, and they represent, they're very respectable, and this and this, even though the alt-right has said a whole bunch of racist stuff. They've used plenty of racial epithets. They've said really outlandish stuff. So they're pretty much trying to normalize it and make it okay to, hold white supremacist views by giving a platform to these people and giving them interviews and, putting the mic in their face every time they come out. They're pretty much making it okay, and they're making it seem like it's fine to hold these type of views, and to be the neo-Nazis, the new Nazis of 21st century. So they're definitely making it okay.
I feel like these views, like, people have had these views for a long time. It's just that since Trump has run for president, and since he's run for president, people have started to think that they can be more open about those views. But I think that it's always been, prevalent among a lot of white people. So, I mean, like, do you think, what's different, really, except for that they're being more outspoken about it? And that really a bad thing they're being, because at least then you know what you're dealing with, right?
Oh yeah, without a fact. I'm not naive. I'm not gonna sit here and act like people haven't had these views for the longest time. Wasn't it Malcolm X who said that he respects the man who's a racist to his face, as opposed to the white liberal who pretends to not be a racist? And
that is a very simplified version of a Marcus Garvey quote, but okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm getting them all mixed up, man. I got a lot of stuff floating around, but basically, like I said, I'm not naive. I know it's just that people, like I said, it's been normalized to the point where people feel safe and they feel like it's okay to come out and say it. Of course they've had these views for a long time, but I do agree that it's good so that way you know who the white supremacists are now, because they don't even care now. They don't care if they lose their jobs. They don't care if they get suspended.
You're spiritual leader.
Chris, you take it.
Oh,
you take
it. I didn't even ask for this. The alt-right is a movement of proud white people. I personally have nothing against non-violent racist white people. I feel like white supremacy has a legitimate reason to exist. If you are white, it exists to preserve your race, and I guess if there's any right in the universe, I guess there would be a perceived right to exist. So I get it if you're white, but I don't like it that it affects my people. So that's where I have a problem at it. But I see the alt-right as just like, it's just the resurgence of the white nationalist movement. I don't think it's anything serious. I feel like there's like bigger, like more, I don't know what's more important, not even important, but just more threatening white fringe groups out there that we just don't know about.
Right.
And the alt-right just generally just might be like deflection. Like this might be just.
Wait, okay, run that back, because you said something interesting. You said white supremacy exists, so you said it's okay for it to exist, so they can preserve their race. Is that what you said?
I'm saying the intent of white supremacy at its core is to preserve the white race.
Yeah, but okay, good. So why is it that white supremacy exists for that reason, but we don't have how come black people don't feel a need to have a black supremacy?
Because black people aren't biologically set up to fail.
They call black people black supremacists all the time when if you're pro-black. It's a lot of people who claim that black people are black supremacists. It's a lot of black people who will claim that they are black supremacists. Like even in that in Brandon Price's group.
Hold on, I
a lot of people will say,
towel to wipe my forehead. Excuse me.
Why are you so sweaty?
Because that heat. What you said before.
But yeah, I agree that. Huh?
No, I'm talking about what Chris said before. I asked him, you heard it. I said, why? How come there isn't a black supremacy if white supremacy's sole goal is preservation of their race? And how come black people don't have a black supremacy? And Chris said, because black people aren't programmed to genetically fail. That's some deep shit, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the only reason that there are black supremacists or black people who want to preserve their race is it's like a response to the white supremacists, basically.
That's what.
Yeah, I think that if there wasn't if they weren't around, then we wouldn't have any reason to act that way, would we? That's a good point.
Wow. All right, next.
So, do you think the group is going to be like a threat?
No, not a serious one.
No.
It's just white supremacy, and then it exists just to get people on their side and hopefully indoctrinate them heavily enough so they become militant.
Now, are you saying it's not a problem because they haven't put their hands on people yet, or just because they're just simply using words?
I don't believe.
So when does it become a problem? When they actually start hurting black people, or
I don't think they could ever become a serious problem. I'll say that.
Because I think words have more of an impact. Words tend to, influence people's decision-making skills, and it tends to get people to do things or to convince them of things they normally wouldn't do. I mean, if you look at Joseph Goebbels and his very successful propaganda campaign, he simply used words to convince people to, you know, to get the Germans on their side to do what he did to the Jews. And the same thing in America too. You know, they used books, they use literature, they use all forms of media, words, and your voice to, you know, convince people certain things that can potentially lead to violent action. So you don't particularly think that's a threat at all?
Well,
like what they're saying, their rhetoric, their speech.
Like I said, I'm saying a serious threat because I feel like if the alt-right do get possibly violent, I feel like Black society is at least equipped to deal with them to an extent, even in our state, because, you know, white people are at an all-time high, like in terms of like division right now, and I don't think that they'd have the backing to really do a full out like oh man, if I punch this Black dude, I'm gonna get away with it. But it's like, if I punch this Black dude now, then it's like, man, like I might not get away with it because now I'm all over the place. So like Richard Spencer's life probably saw a significant like decrease in quality ever since he's gotten international attention, because of course, you know, I know friends white supremacists knew about it, but the yuppie liberal white people probably didn't know, and now that they do know, you know, they're not about to go up there and just kill him, but they're gonna try and make his life a living hell. And I feel like Black people have a really good chance right now because, yeah, the alt-right is scary if the alt-right formed in a less divisive time. When it's like your population is divided, so it's like you're not going to be able to do as much damage as you could do. And you know, I feel like a regular Black person is like at least like twice as strong as like a regular white person. So I feel like that we could definitely deal with the threat from the alt-right. Now, if there's like some massive like if all Republicans jumped on the alt-right, if like a bunch of Democrats jumped on the alt-right, then it's scary because then it's like they have the numbers. But I believe like the alt-right right now is like, if I had to equate the alt-right size to anything else, it's probably be like the size of how many people claim to be conscious in the Black community. I feel like the alt-right is white consciousness.
That's interesting.
And so I really don't think it's really a threat like that. Not like a Gestapo, like, oh no, this is Nazi Germany. Oh no, this is it. It's like it's not, because what most people don't know is that fascism is a left-wing ideology, and these are right-wingers.
Right.
So I just, you know, it's nothing that we're not, you know, experienced with. So that's my take on it.
All right. Next topic.
I guess this topic was called American Unification under Trump, but I'm going to substitute it for Casey's topic. And I believe she said, how should we feel towards Black people that align themselves towards Trump's ideology?
Well, just people who, like celebrities who have been associated with him. Maybe they don't agree with, you know, his ideologies, but, you know, the Black people like all these preachers and Steve Harvey, Chrisette Michelle, people like that deserve all of the hate that they've been getting from associating themselves with him.
Okay. All right, who wants this one? This boy.
Come on, let's go ahead and do it.
Oh boy. Okay. First of all, now you said, do they deserve all this hate they're receiving from the Black community? I I wouldn't even necessarily say they should be hated, but they should be vilified. We should make it a point that we have a code. We as Black people have a code, and if you violate the code, you get punished. Every culture has a code that punishes people who get up, who get off of the code. For instance, any white person that publicly comes out and helps a Black person is punished. There was a CEO of a company, I can't remember. I really got to start writing down these notes. But there's a CEO of this company last year, and he spoke out against racism, and they punished him because his stocks fell like the next day. Like, people were actually trying to get him fired or removed. They were trying to get the board to remove him, basically. So we definitely have to have a code, and it's dangerous when you have Black people supporting a guy like Trump, because historically this is what has always been done to help pacify Black people and to make certain behaviors okay. So the Steve Harveys, the Christette, I heard she won't be able to get work anytime soon. The Stacey Dashes.
Yeah, but they weren't. All these people were not necessarily supporting him. They just, they just kind of, are associating themselves with him because he is the president. Like, I think that what Steve Harvey and Chrisette Michelle, what they did, in my opinion, is like from what say Omarosa and a lot of the preachers who are, like the preacher who was at that prayer, or the Black History breakfast. I don't know if you saw that video, but like they really support him and what he's doing, whereas these other people, they are just kind of working with him for various reasons. Like Chrisette Michelle, she said that she didn't vote for him or anything, but she had her reasons for why she wanted to sing at the inauguration, and it probably had a lot to do with just her as a business person. Yeah, like she I think that she even said that it was an opportunity for her to expand her audience and the people who know about her. And so, and then with Steve Harvey, well, apparently some people in the Obama administration, they had suggested, or Obama's people had suggested, that he meet with Trump. So he was basically I don't know exactly what his reasoning was for it. It may have been just that, I don't know, there's a lot of different reasons for people have said for why they think that he really did it, like because The Apprentice and his show is on the same network, so he just didn't want to get in trouble with the people with the network or anything. There's a difference, but he never said that he supports Trump or that he agrees with him or anything like that. So I personally don't think that they deserve like all of the slander that they're getting, because it's like, also when it comes to business, especially Chrisette Michelle, because business people, Black people, a lot of them will say like, we should do business with stuff like that. Basically, she was just doing business with him. I mean, he paid her to sing a song, and that's what she did. And she didn't say that she supports him or that she agrees with his policies and all of that. She just sang. So I really think that Black people are kind of just like being bullies, kind of. I don't think that I do think that there needs to be some kind of code that we're all on, but Black people aren't on code when it comes to nothing else. So why is it that they want to all of a sudden be on code when it comes to attacking people?
Oh, you're done? Okay. I think it's just because I think they're starting to understand, and they're starting to, I think Black people as a whole, now that Trump is in office, I think Trump is really the wake-up call Black people needed, and I think they're really starting to recognize certain things as not being okay. Now, I will give you that as a businessman or a businesswoman, some of these performances or meetings were for profit, but at the same time, why can't you, there's other avenues that you can use to to link up with the president. You don't necessarily have to, because Steve Harvey met with them and then did this public meeting, and I met with the president. He's such a great guy. There's other avenues you can use, but don't expect. And now Steve Harvey is also the same guy who said he doesn't give a damn about slavery. If I'm not mistaken, that was him. So Steve Harvey
has said he's done a lot of questionable things.
He's done a lot of soft shoe.
Yeah.
I will agree that when it comes to, especially because I know Chrisette hasn't had a hit since Ashton Martin Music, which was like 2010. So I know she's probably hurting for money. So I understand that she would do this for money, but at the same time, I mean, was this the only venue she could find?
I think that she does a lot. She actually does a lot of shows, and has had some popular, at least one popular or two popular songs in the R&B circuit since then. And she does shows and stuff. She was on, I think it was The Breakfast Club, and she was talking about this. She was like, she says that she's not hurting for money, because she does shows all the time. But then, she had brought up the thing about her fan base, and she said that she had sung for Obama. She had sung at the White House twice before. And so this is just something that she does a lot. But I just feel like, Black people just like to, because listen, I think Black people just like to, they have I guess it's the group think thing. And they just like to, it's fun for a lot of Black people to just slander people. And especially when you're online, it's like a group think thing. It's like a bullying type of thing. It's another word that I'm looking for, but really selective with what it is that they get outraged about.
Okay, so Chrisette Michele, she is a very attractive Walmart 8. And
wait, what you call her?
A Walmart 8.
Okay.
So basically, she's an 8. But if you got rid of the weave and the makeup, then she looks like,
she used to not even wear weave. She'll wear it sometimes, Walmart. But she'll time without wearing it sometimes. She looks nice without it.
She does look nice without it, but without it, she looks like a Walmart employee, and that's no shade at Walmart employees. We got some really attractive Walmart employees, but she's.
What does this have to do with anything?
I'm wrapping it up by saying that
Okay.
At least with this topic, that honestly, I don't think she did anything bad. I really don't mind that she performed. I just feel like Black people were just being extremely reactionary.
Yeah.
I believe that I've never listened to any of the song. I don't even know what her voice sounds like. But I mean,
Ashton Martin Music? Come on.
I'm sorry, but
that's the only one I know from.
Ashton Martin Music. I think I was going through my death metal phase back then, but I feel like she's trying to get some money. I believe in the phrase "buy black but sell to everybody." And she was selling her services to everybody, and she got her money, and I can't be mad at her. I don't think she did.
Yeah. Before my call had dropped, I don't remember what's the last thing that that y'all heard that I said, but I was trying to just say that people have that selective outrage where a lot of times it doesn't make sense because when Blige has sung with what's her name for Hillary Clinton, that was fine. That nobody says anything. I mean, no, it wasn't fine when Mary J. Blige did it. People were upset. When Beyonce does it, it's okay. So it's like people pick who's they randomly pick who they're going to hate, and I don't think that is like a good code of conduct or whatever, or this whole code that we're supposed to be on. I don't think that's really what it's supposed to be. I mean, I think that there's got to be another way to, let, hey, this is what we're okay with, this is what we're not okay with. But it doesn't make sense for everybody to hate Trump but then be cool with Hillary. Like, that doesn't even make that just.
Yeah, I was never with that in the first place. So,
Bro,
all the people who perform, all the people who are performing for Hillary, I mean, I've called them out too. So, I try and remain consistent on my, on the code thing, because it was Jay-Z and Beyonce who performed for Hillary, and then it was Mary J. Blige who sang for Hillary, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Man, I was shaking my head the whole time. Yeah, but I understand your point. I understand you guys' point. All right, well, her phone is about to die, so
you don't want to touch this last topic, and that's it?
Yeah, we can do that one.
Okay. Should prostitution be legal? I say yes.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, why did you think whose idea was that question?
Me.
Oh, why did you want to bring that up?
I don't know. It's really interesting because there's a lot of controversy going on right now. Basically, Nevada is the only state where it's sort of legal, but not really, because only in certain parts, and you have to be really crafty to get away with it there. I don't know. It seems really interesting because when they talk about the detrimental effects, when you do more research, you come to find out that there really isn't any like bad side effects. Actually, it'd be better because because I love bringing up history. Historically, when you do a widespread ban of something, whether it's alcohol or cigarettes or whatever it is, it makes it worse because people find illegal ways to get it, which is why we had the back pages bust that happened a few months ago, where they pretty much had to I think they arrested the owner, and because they found out that he was running like a prostitution ring. So when stuff is illegal and not regulated properly, then you tend to have more crime. So I think they should just decriminalize it, and then
have a whole registry.
Yeah, make them take regular health checkups and have them make sure they're clean and all that. Same argument for weed. Like, I feel the same way about weed. Decriminalize it, regulate it, and if you want to, you can tax it. It's more income, it's more revenue. It helps the economy. I mean, why is it illegal to give away something that's free?
Yeah, I agree. I don't see a problem with it. I mean, I don't think that women should be prostitutes, but hey, if that's what they want to do. I mean, I don't think that they should be strippers either, but if that's what you want to do, then yeah, you should be able to do that.
She's so traditional.
It's like being a porn star, kind of. So yeah, it's all the same.
Like, no one is forcing you into that life. If you want to make that choice, then go ahead. And as for how prostitution ties into like child prostitution, if it's regulated, won't that make it harder for them to have these type of these child prostitution rings and all that? If it's heavily regulated, and not just like a regular regulation, I mean, it needs to be heavily regulated. I mean, like, ratchet up the security. That way you can't have any black market stuff. Because like, if they did a gun the same way about guns, if they did a gun ban today, more guns would actually appear on the street, just because they're illegal. And when you take away humans are just built that if you take away something for a human or say it's illegal, then it makes them want it even more. So decriminalize it and then regulate it, and then let it generate money for you, help the economy.
It'll definitely I feel like it also improved the lives of a lot of women, because they won't have to deal with so much abuse, and they also wouldn't have to, quote unquote, go missing when things don't go right. And also for health reasons, STDs and everything, it'll just save a lot of grief. And I do believe that you know, Amon, you made the argument that women in general might benefit entirely if prostitution becomes legal. I agree with you.
Yep. And like I said, there's even been some studies that show that if prostitution was legalized, it would decrease like sexual related crimes and stuff like rape. It would actually decrease it as opposed to increasing it, which is what people think is going to happen if it's legalized. But no, it would actually decrease it. So
hard facts.
Yeah, like this is all stuff you can look up, and I could link it below. I'll probably link it in the YouTube video below, all the links to the sites. But I believe that wraps up the show. We've been at it for 2 hours, but Casey's phone keeps dying, so I think it's pretty much giving her.
It's not really dying. It's just, I don't know. It's booting me off of Hangouts. I don't know why, but I have a.
You need to get in AT&T's ass about that, because that's ridiculous. Whoever your
I have a bootleg phone. I don't have AT&T. It's like way
bootleg.
My phone is way more bootleg.
You have a Nokia?
I have a Metro. It's a Metro phone.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You need to upgrade that. But anyway.
Oh, both of y'all have trash phones. Why are you talking?
Wait, who?
What kind of phone do you have?
You, Amon.
I have a 6S.
Phil.
iPhone 6S.
Phil.
Yeah, I don't even know what type of phone this is. It says Alcatel at the top. I don't think that's name brand.
Damn.
Got a Korean trap phone.
Nobody's ever heard of that, but
she has a North Korean Obama phone. She has a Kim Jong-un phone.
You said it's an Obama phone?
No, he said you got a North Korean trap phone. Why you laughing, Chris? Chris got a damn IED in his pocket. This man's a damn sleeper cell.